Welcome to another episode of the ASG podcast. Today we are joined by Jordan Chan, a wholesome, wonderful, excellent writer, and I hope you guys enjoy. Just because, like, when I go there, even I feel more like I belong here. Does that make sense?
In Malaysia than here.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But then I am British inside. Inside, I'm very British. Yeah. Right? But then when you go there, the climate, the food, it just feels like I belong here. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like
I think Malaysia, like, everybody loves everybody. Like, white people are revered in Malaysia.
Yeah, and then they're revered everywhere for some fun.
And then every I wonder why. And then every other non-Malaysian foreigner, right? Everyone we just think it's cool.
Yeah.
We just want to like get out, but then also obviously we like are exposed to different cultures locally as well.
Yeah, Malaysia, Singapore is like the perfect like east-south meet up. Like, the food, roti canai. Yeah. You know, then you have like fucking laksa. Then you have fucking what's some other great shit I had there, bro? I had lo mein there in the hawker stand, bro. It's one of the best, bro. The hawker stands there is unbelievably good. Yeah, we went to a restaurant, second at Kuala Lumpur, right? So we go to. Am I guys? What's wrong? No, you're good. Okay. So I go to we go to a restaurant, and I'm like, oh boys, let's just go and have, because me and my boys went together, three of us, sorry. And I was like, let's just go and sit in a meal and have it. So we went and sat in the place, had it. It was so dead. It was so like mediocre. Go hawker stand, have the food. It is so good.
Why? The dirtier the restaurant, the better it is.
That's what I said. I'm telling you about the rats.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
Wait, what's going on?
The cameras are censored.
But yeah, man, I love Malaysia. Yeah. I actually do.
I mean, I just came back, so.
Yeah.
You are on a holiday. Yeah. Goddamn.
Wait, so you went Malaysia, Japan, and then?
Okay, so I went back to Malaysia to see my family, and then.
Did Vicky come with you? Or?
Yes. No, it was planned. Yeah. But then like passports and visas, all that shit, and then we went to Bali. Took our friends to Bali. I've been to Bali once as well recently, and I actually spoke to my therapist. I was like, okay, and to sum it up, she was like, don't bring a laptop. I was like,
workaholic.
I was like, but I need my laptop. I need my laptop. And then she's like, no, don't bring a laptop. And then I spoke to my best friend. I was like, he's like, don't bring a laptop. I was like, but what do I do with my fingers? You know, like, so I didn't bring my laptop, and it was fine. I was like, it was good because like I wasn't like tweaking or anything. Yeah. I think that's what like London does to you though.
Yeah. I don't think I can go on holiday without my laptop. I would.
I'd happily go on.
Not even just like work, but like shit always comes up on your emails and stuff like that, and like you don't want to deal with it late, right? So that was kind of like my anxiety. But then I was like, okay, you know what, fuck it, I'm not gonna bring my laptop. And then just went to the beach and like dug a hole. It was just my holiday, Bali, and then went to Japan.
Yeah. Tokyo, Kyoto.
Yeah, Tokyo and Kyoto.
Oh, wow. Look at that guess, bro.
Spot on.
Bro, I'm good.
I did the culture shit first, like in Kyoto. And then I visited my cousin who lives there and is going to be giving birth soon as well.
Oh wow, congratulations.
Yeah. And then so it's gonna be my 5th or 6th niece or nephews.
Yeah.
And like it's weird because like I see videos and photos that they keep sending me in my family group chat, and it's like new people are spawning in the house that I grew up in, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel it feels like really good, right? Because they're like you know, interacting with the things I did when I was young.
Yeah.
But then I'm also like, oh, it's not about us anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
It's kind of unreal that people our age are like popping out kids.
Define our age. What's that?
Well, 28, 30.
Whoa! I don't put 30 at me. I still got 2 weeks.
By the time this episode's out,
I still got 2 weeks.
By the time this episode's out, you're 30.
Okay,
right?
well, let's move along.
So I was like, I looked around and I was like, okay, I was there when my first niece was born, and she was so lonely. She was like, a baby in a sea of adults.
Yeah.
But now she has friends.
Yeah.
And then it hit me. I was like, okay, like I'm growing up. I'm actually growing up. So yeah, met my cousin and then did a bunch of like culture shopping and stuff in Kyoto, and then I went to Tokyo and did more shopping, but was exposed to a lot of different things.
What type of thing?
Red light shit.
Like, so I went to Akihabara.
Akihabara.
Yeah,
The anime weird place. Yeah.
Vicky and I wanted to get some figurines, right?
Yeah.
And
And then you can take the top off or something.
no, so we looked at a lot. Definitely, we had a couple that we wanted to buy for the collection, right? But there were some that I'm just like, wow, some people's job is to actually make these
that,
things. And then I also saw a bunch of people who were looking at some things for a little bit too long. And I'm like, be yourself, yes, but like.
Sorry, what is happening today? The earlier episode we shot also ended in hentai. What is going on?
Did you go to Maid Cafe?
No, I didn't go to a maid cafe. Yeah.
What?
That's just the cringiest experience
Have you been to one?
ever. It's so cringe.
I had a budget, right, which I wanted to. I'm on holiday, right? I literally I eat rice and spam here every day in London. I had a budget to go into Tokyo with. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna spend this on myself. I was not gonna go and spend money on the maid cafe.
All right. Oh, I see.
I wanted to buy things for myself. And I'm like, okay, in the last 4 months of spam and rice is worth it.
Yeah. But spam musubi is not bad.
Spam and rice every day, I'll probably die.
It would get sick.
I'll probably die.
Yeah, that's true as well. That is true as well. Oh wow. And now you just landed today. Whoa,
Yes.
shit, sorry, my bad. Landed today and you're here now.
Jet lagged.
No jet lag. Apparently,
No jet
on the
lag?
flight.
You time it right, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
professional traveler.
Yeah, apparently. So my mate did this. Yeah, he went. He's in Japan right now. Actually, you just missed him. He's right there.
Everyone's in Japan.
Everyone's in Japan these days. I haven't been.
Because it's cheap for us.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, you're right. But I really want to go. I really want to go to Japan. And he went there and he was saying the best way to get over or to get past the jet lag is to basically over a few days shift your sleep pattern to their sleep pattern slowly, and then when you're on the flight, treat it like you're there already. So if it's 10 p.m. there, go to bed. Just go to bed. And if it's morning, stay up. Don't go to bed. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit.
I came from Malaysia actually, so I went to Japan from Malaysia, so I was not too affected by it. It was only an hour difference.
Yeah.
But I would say I was that, but the city, right, has this energy that just kind of assimilates you very easily. Like your ADHD, my ADHD definitely took over, and I'm like, I forgot I'm tired. I'm just looking at shit all the time.
It's so bright. It's all the lights, neon
But
signs.
it is so hot.
Yeah. What you're saying, yeah.
I've never experienced heat like that in my life. Never.
And you've been to Bali, you've been to the jungle basically.
Yeah. I mean, I'm from Malaysia, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be hot. But I've never experienced heat like that before in my life. And I've experienced summers in London as well.
Yeah.
There's no aircon in London. There's no the infrastructure in London is terrible for summer.
Heat, yeah.
But Japan, I was every day as the days passed, I could only get out for less and less amount of time.
What was it? Was it infrastructure or was it just genuine heat?
I think it was pollution and shit, right?
No, actually, it was kind of because there was no pollution. That it
Really?
was just direct sunlight, because there was no clouds. I might be wrong, but but based on my observations, right, it was clear blue skies, and I could just feel the sun on my face, and it won't go away. And what's worse is that because they had such good design for infrastructure, right, everything was air conditioned.
Yeah.
So I kept going in and out of 40 degrees and then 20 degrees air conditioning, in and out, because I'm always looking at department stores, the subway and everything.
Yeah.
To a point where the last 2 days, right, Vicky had to drag me. It's come on, you can do it. I'm dying.
Yeah.
I'm drinking Pocari. I drink 3 Pocari sweats a day and 4 bottles of water. And I'm why do I feel so dehydrated?
What does Pocari sweat taste like? I've always wondered.
I hate it.
You hate Pocari sweat?
I hate Pocari.
I've never had it.
Have you tried 100 Plus?
No.
Oh, what it
Is it bitter water or something?
No, it's
It's an energy drink.
But it's
Pocari,
sweet or-
it's a bit sweet, but what it reminds me of is something it's dissolved plastic.
Actually, it tastes like sweat, but sweet sweat. It's like, okay, so no, because isotonic drinks have electrolytes, right?
Yeah.
Electrolytes are like and also salts that you need for hydration.
Yeah.
Right. And salts are salty, right?
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct on this.
Yeah.
And I know this because when I was working very intensely, I was like super dehydrated, but I was drinking a lot of water. Yeah. And I'm like, why do I feel so dehydrated? And like based on some very like surface level research is that if you work a lot and you drink a lot of water, you still need to hydrate yourself like you do like athletes and stuff like that, because they hydrate themselves with like electrolytes. Yeah. And you need that as well.
Yeah.
And like Pocari Sweat has all of the good like salts and minerals and electrolytes that you sweat out as well.
Yeah.
So it's like salty but really sweet.
My main, I think the thing we're skipping over here is how do you know what sweat tastes like?
sometimes you know, you just gotta.
Oh, fuck it out, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, tough times.
So we're here. Well, you're here, shall I say? We're to promote a new book. You're the first author we've had on the pod. Yes, thanks. Let's go. And you're here to promote the book.
The launch coming up.
Yes. I heard the concept of it. Amazing.
Nice.
But so basically,
could you explain?
I was going to give abbreviation word version, but I was going to give him the opportunity.
Okay. So I think it was like exactly this time last year, I went back to Malaysia, and I had just finished my education in writing, which was mostly like art essays and criticism. And I enjoyed it, right? And then I went back to Malaysia to see family, but also see friends, make new friends as well. And I met a couple of writers from Malaysia who I found incredibly fascinating, right? The way they put two and two together is super interesting. And they had a whole new perspective on Malaysia that kids, I'm very sure, are never taught in education. And they write brilliantly as well, right? Great storytellers, and I could listen to them go on about their research for like ever, right? And then I was like, where else can I read your stuff? And they're like, oh, I mean, I have a few bits published here and there, but I'm like, okay, what are you working on now? And then they gave me a couple ideas and like stuff that they were working on, and I'm like, okay, can I publish it for you? Because these like your ideas, your writing is so beautiful that I wanna almost collect them in my own collection, right? My own library. And I wanna share that with my friends as well. And then so that kind of like fostered into a small little community that were full of writers. And then I kind of played with this idea that like I wanted you guys, the writers, to write about anything they want, right? And then put them together in a collection, which was, curated or not, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I was thinking, how can audiences read these collections of writings without having a title kind of like control it?
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I'm still kind of like debating and work, playing around with the idea of how a book can be designed so that people are not too precious about it, and actually in a way that supports the writers that's featured on it.
Yeah.
Right. So the main aim of my project is to, number one, support writers financially, so that they get paid to write what they want, and number two, give writers in Malaysia the support vis-a-vis like audiences, right, readers, not just through the purchase of the book, but when the book is designed in a specific way where they're not too precious about it. They're like, okay, I've read these Malaysian writers, and I want my friends to read it because it's important that they know who these people are, so that they can continue to do what they want to do, write what they want to write, and then really, I suppose, make a positive impact on the reading and writing culture in Malaysia, right? So that was the whole premise of my project. It's not like it's not that deep, to be honest. So the main aim is just to create is to add to that reading and writing culture.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And it's the publishing kind of like entity is called the Key Press, which is a play on words between my love for writing, but also my love for mechanical keyboards and all things design related in this kind of like space in which I kind of like do all my work.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm really fascinated by design, like interesting designs that go towards making an introvert space, right? Where it's like, we can go out every day, come back in, and it's our own little kind of like temple of like, where we can have like bits and bobs. And I'm like, okay, this is where I feel most comfortable expelling my thoughts.
Yeah.
Am I right in thinking with the authors that you, I guess, what was the word again that you used?
Oh, anthology?
Like you collected, right? What was the, because I don't fully remember, sorry, but you said you gave them all the same word?
Yeah, so...
what, can we know what the word was? Or
at the time, it's weird because it's not really like a brief or anything. It was a really loose conversation I was having over some coffee with them. And I was like, I'm thinking a lot about space right now. Yeah, and for me, like, space was a really interesting word because the intention of the project was to create space for the writers to write what they want. And then for me, it was I was thinking about what space meant to me. I was like, I was working multiple jobs, and I didn't find it too stressful. But I was also thinking about other people who also had multiple jobs, but with a bit more urgency, right? And what space meant to them, right? Where for me, I found my space like at between like 9 to like 11 p.m. when I came home, and that was like an interesting period because that was where I felt like I had space to reflect on things, to breathe. But also I was working jobs where I had little bits and pieces of moments where I felt that time almost stopped. And then I was just observing these little moments in between what was a really hectic schedule for me. And that was what I wrote about through this fictional piece I created. So that was my interpretation of space. I thought space was interesting as well because one of the writers who were talking about, racial politics in Malaysia and what space meant to different people in different positions in society relative to Malaysia, right? So I think what we've created through our writings is a very interesting conversation that can be approached in many different ways depending on who reads it. Yeah. And I think what I'm most excited about is not actually talking to people about the book, but seeing what people say or like seeing what people discuss about or end up thinking
what resonates between each reader.
Yeah, because it's so diverse. But me personally, I see the underlying kind of like
the through line. Yeah, there's like a through line in there, but everyone expresses it as separate.
Exactly.
Ways. Yeah. So like, I know this is a bit of a diversion, but I thought it'd be quite interesting to talk about that racial situation in Malaysia. That's cool. Like, is that cool? We talk about that quickly?
Yeah, I mean,
I just want to know because there's a lot of people out there who might not be aware.
Yeah.
I think it's a very interesting.
I will do my best. I'll do my best.
Like, what is it? Because I know Singapore was kind of created as a result of that, if I know correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's. I thought, I mean, from a perspective of a British perspective, I thought, oh, these days it's much more cordial. It's much more like it's been resolved to an extent, but clearly it hasn't. If there's, writers and yourself, you mentioned it, who feel like there is still issues here. So, what do you wanna like give us a bit of an insight into that? Even a little backdrop of what was going on, how it started, and then what's your take on it?
Okay, I'm not the most qualified person to tell you.
Of course. We're just strictly thinking
No.
from your
Yeah,
perspective.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what I will tell you. But
Okay.
And what I've observed.
Okay.
But I will not tell you about how things came to be, because
Okay.
I'm really just unqualified.
Yeah.
I think my perception of society in Malaysia is very interesting. I think the first thing I would probably say is education is so important. And education not just through government controlled enterprises, regimes, syllabuses, etc., but also who you grew up with. So, depending on what kind of parents and grandparents you have, you're always imparted with different types of wisdom, right? And I think as Gen Zs who have access to social media, we need to know which parts to take and which parts to be like, okay,
Leave it
this is how things to take with your generation.
Yeah.
So I think one thing that I probably agree with, that I hear a lot from older generations, is that as Malaysians, we are brought up with a lot of these racial harmonies, right? I remember in school, we always have I can't remember what different schools call it, but like a day where we celebrate different cultures and we're allowed to wear the
attires.
Yeah, the traditional attires of different cultures, right? And it's not even, the word appropriation was never even a thing for us, because
by the time it would be considered appreciation.
Yeah, because education from the ground up, we're building that appreciation for different cultures. It was not derogatory in any sort of way. So yeah, it was very beautiful. But then as you grow up, right, you start to see where priorities and privileges are being favored and being pushed towards by like how the countries through how the countries run. And then you're like, oh, okay, it's not really something I can control. And then for me, I start to like open my eyes a bit more. I'm like, oh, okay, so this is how things work, yada yada yada. And yeah, so that's number one. That's something I can agree with with some of the wisdom that's been imparted from like older generations, right? Because they've lived through it. And I'm like, okay, I get it. And then, but the second thing is also, I think Malaysians are very, very proactive in, the younger Malaysians, right, are very proactive in fighting for what they want. So a lot of the things that they do not stand for in terms of like censorship or like protests, they will definitely like, you'll see, you'll hear it, you'll feel it. So that's something that I'm like really proud of. And generally speaking, I would say like everyone is very socially aware. Yeah, which makes me like proud.
Yeah,
to say as a Malaysian.
Yeah. That's a very safe answer. I don't know how you did it.
Imparting wisdom.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because and I guess that goes into another interesting conversation, where like harmony amongst different cultures in a society, right? And I think even here we're starting to see divisions being formed and ethnic ideas and ideals come to the foreground, rather than, I'm like you, where late 90s and early 2000s in Britain was, you kind of like, especially in London, I'm not sure about the rest of the country, in London it's very like you grow up appreciating your friends' cultures and they appreciate yours, and you kind of think, oh, this is beautiful, like this is I remember my earliest thought being, oh, it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from, you're you, and that's all that matters, right? It doesn't, everything else doesn't matter, right? But obviously that kind of is starting to the foundations
as you grow up, right?
Yeah, the foundations are shaky, and I'm not sure if that's always been that way or it's become that way, right? Like I'm not sure if that I was just naive and ignorant to it at the time, right? So my question to you would be like, do you see a world where regardless of the culture, there's some sort of harmony? I'm putting you on the hot spot. Yeah, no, you come with the wisdom. I'm giving you some wisdom questions. I want to see, like, as a writer, right? You probably have to think about it. You have to contemplate these bigger thoughts, bigger ideas. Do you see a world where harmony is created, where it doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter what you look like. It's who you are. I'm good. I'm really good.
Can you repeat that question again?
Okay. He's better. Do you see a world, or do you see if there is a way where places like Malaysia, Britain, multicultural places, where there would be harmony amongst different cultures, where it becomes a meritocracy. Like it becomes who you are is more important than what you are. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like where
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. And if you think it is, how do you think we get there? Kind of thing. What would your take be on that?
I think your question like sets it up pretty perfectly, to be honest. I think
we got him.
I'm somebody who is I'm not individualistic. But I'm really not I was not brought up to be a political activist or but like I said before, we are a very specific generation where we have access to a lot of different parts of the world through our phones and stuff like that. So like it's always really overwhelming because it's very easy to have like God complex, right? Where it's like, oh, I have all of these things in my hands and I want to do more. But at the same time, you also have to take care of yourself. So I think it's like, in an ideal world, like everybody will shake hands and, hug each other. But then at the same time, it's probably not going to be the case.
No.
That's my kind of take on it. And I think for me, like the most important thing is not just harmony within yourself, which is always going to be a vision in progress. But I think it's also like something that changes over time. What harmony means to me, what to you.
Yeah.
My idea of peace certainly has like, within myself has changed a lot in the past. It's still changing, and like that. I think I noticed that through how I surround myself and the people I surround myself with, right? So it's like the simplest way is I want peace, right? So if anyone comes into my like life and does not bring peace, then I understand my own kind of like agency in being like, this is probably not for me.
Yeah.
You can go do your thing and I'll do my thing.
Very, very smartly answered.
Yeah.
They say society is not in my hands, but I'll focus on myself.
Yeah. So I can't, just fix do good first before you make,
It's interesting you brought up the God complex thing, like with the internet. You would assume that with all that information, people would be a bit more welcoming of other cultures and ideas. But if anything, it's creating more division.
Have you seen TikTok comments?
Yeah, I've seen Instagram comments.
No, Instagram comments as well.
Wow.
It's brutal.
Wait, do I find them funny? Yeah. Are they very inappropriate? 100%. 100%. They're crazy.
Does the age-old wisdom still stand where if it's funny enough, good enough,
it's okay?
Yeah, literally.
Anymore.
No, it's just it's interesting because that like Malaysia is one of those very interesting places where it's been multicultural for a while.
Yeah,
like space America and there, but there's not many countries like that where it's kind of really not celebrates, but kind of known for its multiculturalism as well, right? Yeah. So that's why I just wanted to see your take on it.
Yeah, I think when I think if you come across any Malaysians, no, I'll put it this way: any Malaysians that hear me go like, "Oh, I think it's very interesting when people react to my ability to speak 4 or more languages as something surprising." I'm like, okay, yeah, I get that. But for Malaysians, they're probably like, "Oh, get over it." Yeah. But I think something that I've realized recently, right, is that if you like being brought up, something that I kind of like thought about a bit more recently is that I was like, okay, what does it mean when I can speak like 4 or more languages, right? Obviously, I was like, it was not really a choice. You just kind of grew up in that culture that uses more than 3 or 4 languages in a single sentence, right? And then when you break it down, and then me also like learning other languages from like Vicky or like traveling to Japan or whatever, right? Because you have similarities. I was just talking to Vicky about this. I was like, you can almost like not learn a language, but communicate to another person in their own language if you embody or like embrace their attitudes.
Yeah.
And nobody will like, they won't speak the perfect way that you were taught if you were learning a new language. But if you embrace their attitude and speak in the same broken way that they would, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You're learning a new language through assimilation, not through like by the book.
By the book, yeah.
So, yeah, I think when in Malaysia, right, like you have different, what's it called? Almost personalities or like attitudes when you use a different kind of like tone.
You can have multiple, like
slight differences. Yeah.
Isn't so like what's really coming out when you speak is like the sense of community.
Yeah.
Don't worry, this is an easy one. Don't worry. But I remember we watched your short film. Banatong, is it Banatong?
Sweet like.
Oh, Sweet Like Banatong.
Oh yeah. So we watched that, and in that, what I took from that is what's important is family.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, we watched the whole thing on YouTube.
Yeah.
5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I
didn't know
it
it was.
Yeah, it was there. I mean, someone's
It's
got
your
there.
channel.
Yeah, it's your channel. Yeah.
It's got your name on it.
It was like 2018, I think.
Yeah, we watched it. But the thing I got from it was the like the sense of family is important. And cherishing everything around you, and like there's one line in there saying it doesn't matter if you get good grades.
Yeah, that was my dad.
Yeah, and that was like a beautiful little thing when I was like, oh wow, that's very important to tell someone, because being a good like the idea of a collective is in there, right? And that's why I bring this all up, because I was like,
it's funny. I was like, I joke about it. I mean, my dad jokes about it a lot. Where it's like, because I went to quite like a strict Chinese school, right? And it was like, am I? It was like weirdly fascist as well. It was like not that it was, but like the
superiority
ethics.
complex.
Yeah. So we had like obviously I think most schools have, which they shouldn't, class ranking systems, right? But like most Chinese schools in Malaysia are pretty toxic, and I think I'm still pretty much, I feel like I'm in touch with Malaysia enough still to say that. And they have like report card days based on, your ranking in not just your class but your school, and your batch and stuff like that. And where am I going with this? Yeah, so like we would have like the blackboard, right? Like let's say like the blackboard is like 2 of these tiles. We always have like a small little corner on the top right section, right? Which is so funny because like the teacher always made like the smallest corner for it, but would write the most shit inside. And that's where we have the homework for today, right? And it will always be like written until like it will bleed out the box.
Yeah.
So that was the kind of like standards that like most Chinese schools have. It's either like you're good or you're not, right?
Yeah.
Excellent or not, right?
Yeah.
And then I think my grades were not bad. It was also I was also learning maths, science, all of these different things in Mandarin, right? A language that my family didn't even speak. Right?
Oh, you Canto.
Yeah. So I didn't even speak. I didn't even speak Mandarin at home. So like, how do you
Yeah.
So I think my dad was like, I'm not, whether it's a compromise, I don't know, but I think I'm very grateful that he did not like succumb to like the pressures of like education and be like, yeah, you need to get an A. Instead, he was like, doesn't matter.
Just do it.
Like just do what you can,
Yeah.
and just don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
That's very rare in Asia, to be honest.
That's a good dad.
Yeah.
Good dad. That how much do you think he's influenced you in all your art? And like, do you see yourself, like, do you see him in your writing or in your short film?
Yeah.
Do you see yourself like emulate him in?
Yeah, just like work ethic.
Yeah.
I think one of the things he told me was as a Chinese man, right? He's like, you can put a Chinese man anywhere in the world and he will make money. He'll find a way to earn. He'll find a way to earn his way.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. To bring food to the table.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's just like something that I I resonate a lot with, and it's like it doesn't matter. You don't have to be the best at something.
You just have to do it.
At the end of the day, if you can bring food to the table, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
if you can,
not what my parents told me.
If you can spread kindness. That's
Look what happens when parents love you.
Yeah.
So wise and smart. Smart.
Good person.
Yeah.
And then on the other end,
Chinese parents, dyed hair. Yeah.
a disappointment.
Very much disappointment. Very, very much. No one's resigning it.
What can you do?
It's one or the other. You flip a coin.
Yeah, it's a coin flip.
You'd be surprised.
I lost a coin flip.
My parents were similar to Jordan's. They were just like, yeah, just be a good human being. We don't actually mind what you get.
Or it's one of those things where it's like if you had a kid, right, and then like the first exam grades that come out, it's probably an indication.
Yeah. My mom saw my grades, and I remember GCSEs. Yeah, so I got the results.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say my grades here. They were okay.
Yeah, I wasn't dumb.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm the same boat as you.
Yeah.
Where if I say it, could you bleep it out? Could you probably bleep it out if I say my grades?
They're not beeping out your grades.
No, I'm not saying it then.
Yeah, sure, I'll bleep it out.
No, I can't. I don't want.
He's not bleeping it out.
Yeah, I'm not putting.
Because that you.
Yeah. No. It was good. It was okay.
I actually got you before, you know.
Yeah, same. I did as well.
I don't even. It's not even possible.
Yeah.
I got you for psychology.
What?
Wait, for psychology?
Yeah, that's a bit.
Yeah. For sixth form.
Oh yeah. I got a couple users on.
No, so I think for me, anyways, right? When you hit sixth form, your mentality starts changing a bit.
Yeah, but you become more independent, don't you?
Yeah, because like I was straight A's on GCSEs, and then when it hit to A levels, and I chose the subjects I chose, I was like, I'm not feeling it anymore.
Yeah. When it comes to A levels, I think you have to start to work. You can't just coast it. Yep. You have to actually work.
I had to like, okay, I can't just follow the syllabus anymore.
Yeah.
I have to like take time out of my.
I understand it and what's going on. But yeah, I remember telling my mom my grades, and you know, by Asian standards they're poor, by white standards they're great, right? And then I told my mom, and she went, "Oh, it's not bad as I thought it was gonna be. Well done. All right, cool. We're waiting for you home. Come on." And that was it. And I just remember thinking to myself, "Wow, chill." And then my AS, I don't mind saying it, I failed pretty badly. I felt so badly, and all the guys I hung out with felt really badly as well. I got the grade, and I'm sitting there. I'm just like really depressed. I'm like, wow, I've never had grades this bad before. My friend comes and sits, he's a Ghanaian guy, sits right next to me, and he opens it, he goes, "Oh my God, the spell's dead." And then he's like, "I'm not going to get shipped back, I'm going to have to swim back."
At least he has an A though.
Yeah, no, without the A. It's
D.
Oh, shit.
Can't even spell.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I got
Not English. The E was in English.
I remember laughing my head off then. But then I came home and told my parents and stuff, and they just went, "Oh, look, it happens." My brother was like, "Just go for a run, get it off your mind. Just go to gym today. Just go to gym, do something, right?" It happens, don't worry. Just try it. And I remember thinking, my parents and even my first year of university was going horribly wrong. And after every exam, I'd phone my mum and be like, "Well, I think I failed it. This is not going well for me." And she's like, "Don't worry, just do what you can, and then we'll see." And I was like thinking about dropping out of uni, and she was upset, but she was like, "You have to do what you want to do." But that's, the reason why I do what I did is because my mum and dad were like, just do what you do. Just do your best.
Yeah.
And that is how you should raise a kid, to be honest. You can't. Then otherwise you become too you burn out. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work.
Did you have friends who took like 5 A levels?
Yeah.
Oh, you took 5 A levels. Oh, you were that guy.
Yeah. I dropped 2.
You were that
I
guy.
dropped 2 by A2.
Yeah.
You were that guy I had to explain to my parents why I wasn't doing 5 subjects.
There was because as a kid I was smart.
Yeah.
And then once they came here, they brought me here for a better life, and their expectations were already
sky high. Yeah.
Because how they see it is, if you're studying in Asia, studying here's a breeze.
Yeah.
The education in Asia is 10 times harder. Fucking primary school kids are doing fucking further maths and shit in KFCs, so coming here, they already expected me to be top of the class.
Do you think teaching which country were you from? China. Do you think teaching in China, the quality is better than the one in the UK?
I can't really say because I didn't study for that long. I came here when I was 7 or 8, so I don't really remember the syllabus, right? But from going back once in a while and looking at what my little cousins are doing, I don't know about quality, but I know, but the quantity is heavy.
But you know what I've realized? Yeah, I don't think that's a good thing.
That's why I brought this up. Yeah. Because like for me, I think, you know, maybe if you want to get good grades, definitely like in Asia, like it's unrivaled, right?
Yeah.
But like I think when I was you know, doing my A levels in the UK, I found learning a lot more fun than I did in Asia.
And when it comes to real learning, because let's be honest, until degree level, all that learning is useless.
Yeah.
It does nothing. It's literally a stepping point, right? So once you go to university, that's your actual learning. And some subjects, right, that is when it really hits. And the people who do well in it are the ones who really enjoy it, right? And just have the ability
or have
to
the pressure
learn.
from the parents.
Yeah. But like the people who mainly are the ones who learn how to learn as well and stuff like that. But like it's pointless to put these kids through all of this because you're just stealing the childhood away from them.
My cousins have no childhood.
Yeah,
like,
it's sad.
When I go back during summer, supposed to be summer holidays, everyone's off. But every single kid without a doubt has tutors during the whole of summer.
Yeah. What's the point?
It's crazy.
How much of their tutoring is they're gonna use? You know what I mean? That's what I think the system is changing.
No, the system is fucked because they have extracurriculum stuff as well, which doesn't make sense to me. Like swimming, like sports and all that kind of stuff. They add points to your university application, but it's like that doesn't really do anything for you. But like the kids' schedules are busier than adults, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is to also prepare them to go into like a 9 to 5.
Yeah, that's what you actually.
That is what it is, but like,
and there is no 9 to 5; it's 9 to 7, and they
possibly.
Bro, it's like 9 to 12, and the fucking next day.
They work like 6 days a week. It's horrible, and it's like, you know.
I mean, it did good up until now, but I think it's going.
It only did good because the population was so big; it had a lot of room to grow. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's just like once India gets its arse into gear, which it is starting to do, by the way, they also going to experience significant growth, which they have starting to get in the infancy of it right now. You know, that I would say less to do with the education system and more to do with just
numbers,
natural just laws. And if you think about their per capita earning, isn't that good? They're a middle income at best. That's not even like good. Like they're at best middle income, probably not a lower middle income, to be honest with you, per capita, right? So in reality, is it really that good? Because they've worked so much more harder than the kids here.
That's true.
But their earning GDP is much lower, right? So it's actually not that good. You know how that goes higher? Those kids, there might have been some creative engineers, some people who have such true passion for it. They might have been able to create something out of it. Those mini small businesses collectively is what makes a small GDP country into a big GDP country, right? The growth, the natural organic growth. But that's what I think. I mean, that's my minor economics knowledge. I mean, I did economics degree as well. So,
I think Malaysia is like also one of the most overworked and underpaid countries.
Exactly, right? Yeah,
so that's India anywhere.
India's up there.
Yeah.
India's getting there. Don't worry, India's getting there. India's a weird place. India's a weird place where they're kind of doing it the right way and the wrong way at the same time. Because they have China as an example of not what to do.
Yeah.
And because they're democratic, purely democratic. It's the biggest democracy in the world, right? So they have a very kind of like, theirs is what should, in reality, that's an actual growth where it goes up and down.
Yeah.
It can't, if it does that, that's artificial as fuck. That's going to blow up eventually, right? This means, we're going, there's a few knocks. Okay, we have to fix it, go. And so we'll see what happens to them in the future, but you know, we'll see. But like, it's interesting because I feel bad for these kids in Asia. Like, that's not a life to live.
No, like I literally have to go tell my aunts, be like, chill.
Yeah.
Like they need to fucking have their free time.
Yeah, have to have a life.
It's
what they're gonna look at. Like people forget, you know, we're only here for how many years, you know? Like we're not gonna take this role and money and anything past. The only thing I've recently, as I get older, the only thing we do take past our death is the memories we leave in the children we have. That's it. That's it. And then they will have kids, and then they will have kids, and then maybe 3-4 generations down, there might be a kid who looks a bit like me, and that's my legacy here. That is it. Do you know? And that's the reality for most people. But people are like so obsessed with the rat race. We're not even having kids anymore. Do you know what I mean? We're working hard for what?
Yeah.
What are we working hard for? I feel like ranting.
The dink life.
The dink, yeah. What's that? What is that? Dink life. What's that?
Yeah, double income, no kids.
Oh, is that a double income, no
And
kids?
then
Okay.
dink wads is double income, no kids with a dog.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know how this became such a politically and cultural.
It's the wisdom. It's too much wisdom.
Look, for me, it was when I saw your short yesterday. I was like, I feel like there's something to be said here.
Yeah.
I want to get more out of it.
One of my friends that I studied writing with, he posted one of a quote from a book he read. I'll probably like send it to you later if you want.
Yeah, please do.
I'll paraphrase it for you now.
Yeah.
It was like it was almost as if that we lost track of who we are as people. We are human beings, right? We're not born to work. We're born to live. So we have to take care. We're born to care for ourselves instead of just like
100%.
Yeah, and it's something that I'm personally trying to like, not figure out because it's pretty simple, but like
don't work too much.
Yeah, like try not to get caught up in the rat race, like you said, too much, especially in London, because like everybody is like on the way somewhere, getting the next bag and stuff like that. And sometimes you just need to like use that money that you earn and give yourself like a nice meal.
Yeah, it's not even the nice shit. I think about it. Like when people pass or when friends move away, the things you miss are like all my mates pretty much moved from Croydon. They all like live all over across the country now. And the thing I miss is on a Sunday, the message in the group chat or something. But like, yeah, everyone at Andrews? Yeah, go on then. And we go, no plan. We just go sit there. All right, cool. What do we do? Oh, watch TV. All right, watching TV together. Order pizza, eat pizza together. Go play football in the back or play some games.
Yeah,
that's the beauty of
lost the community.
That's exactly, right?
I mean, I still have that online.
Yeah, but
that is interesting. That's the interesting thing, isn't it? Online,
like online friends is a lot more common
than actual like in-person friends.
Like I speak to my Discord friends way more than I speak to my like IRL friends because it's just way easier.
It's way easier. But the one thing I would say in the critique of online friends, right? Because I have online friends as well. I get it. It's fun. The only critique I have, and to be fair, my online friends are good at this, is you lose. The best thing about a community is the ability just to walk over, right? You're walking over, you're not doing anything. You're just there. And so you just share intimate, uninteresting, unimportant interaction, right? And it's only for you two. And it's nothing worth telling anyone else about. But if it's online, you're always doing something, play a game. And if you do, it's too purpose built rather than purposeless. Like it needs to be like that. That is something society is losing at a rapid rate. That ability just to exist. And that's important to me.
Just like just meet and be like, oh, I don't know what to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it was a while ago, but I think there was a thing where I read and it was like, we're not embracing boredom anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like boredom is a very good way for us to reflect and come up with new ideas and all that kind of stuff. Because we're not doing anything else, so the only thing we can do is think.
Yeah.
Right? But because of society these days, when we have social media, like we have brain rot scrolling with games on our phone, like it's so easily accessible that I think it's made us dumber. You know?
I would say say less conscious than dumb.
Yeah, okay. Maybe dumb is not the right way, but less conscious and like
we're afraid of boredom.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you're not doing anything, intrusive thoughts come and start spiraling. Yeah.
But I think maybe that is why a lot of us are struggling with mental health as well. We don't have maybe enough moments to self-reflect.
Yeah, there's too much pressure to like find true purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh mate, finding purpose is the bitch.
Yeah. It's a real bitch. Yeah.
It's the bitch. I mean, back in the day, I still kind of think it would work today. Families, kids, that is the best purpose you'll ever have, in my opinion. I don't have a kid, but I see my brother has a kid, and I seen his shift from when he has a kid to not having a kid. And he was like, he so like loves being a dad. And a lot of my friends who are dads, they love being a dad. One of my friends hated kids, has his own kid, and goes, you know what, mate? They're cute. I was like, yeah, I know they're cute, you prick. Like, but it gave him so much purpose. It gives him so much like drive, and you become motivated to like provide and all that kind of
I
stuff.
think that's the natural cycle of being human, right? Like you live and then you fucking pop another one of you out and then you take care of that.
Yeah.
I've been hanging out with my girlfriend too much. It made me want kids. All right.
My late grandparents live in this small town in Malaysia, right? And I always found it so fascinating whenever I went back to visit. It's like a great place for food, right? And then me and my dad always kind of like said, oh yeah, it's a great place to visit for like 2 days, and then time just kind of stops there because it's where a lot of old people are, right? But in a way, like my fondest memories of like that town is actually just things staying still. I have like my grandma has this, my late grandma has this like swing that that she would sometimes sit, but mostly my granddad would just sit there and just swing.
Yeah.
And just like feel the air, listen to the birds and just swing. And like I don't want to attribute this to like just things that old people do, because like when they just sit around and just like absorb but like that's something that I think that we can actually like
learn from.
Learn from, observe, like if I was to de-stress, like I just think of that.
Yeah. I think a lot of youngsters, especially our generation, think older people are stupid and have nothing to learn from.
But they are on it.
Bro, wisdom is from age. If I live with my grandparents, I used to love sitting there and I just talk to them about stuff, right? They might not have the education I have. I have way more education, which might make me more intelligent in big speech marks, right? Because I have education. But when I talk to them about life, like just the simple stuff, like swinging, just there, they gave me much. The nuggets they gave me were so valuable to just like making me feel like, okay, this is how I should tackle shit. This is how I should approach shit. You know what I mean? And it was like that we can learn so much from our grandparents. And I try to urge everyone, like, mate, if you have grandparents, go and sit with them. Just go and talk with them. Ask them about their lives. What did they do? What did they say? You learn everything. You learn anything. All the problems you have has an answer 20 years before you did it. You know? Every problem has happened before.
Everybody has different things that are important to them.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you have a conversation, and see where you can kind of like realign, maybe you'll be able to find this like moment of peace, or like this. Maybe you'll have a better relationship with like boredom. Yeah. I bet you they're not bored. They're probably really relaxed.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been thinking about writing a lot recently as well.
Nice.
Right? So I've written a prologue. You don't know about this yet. I haven't told you. I'm writing a book just for myself. I'm just gonna give it to my friends.
Okay.
Yeah. And I like to write. I want to write because I feel like I have a lot of ideas that I want to try and tell in a story. Where I'm trying to like, maybe instead of saying, should life be this way, I want to ask the question through a fictional story, right? So that's my approach to what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm any good. Probably gonna be dog shit. Let's be honest. But I'm trying to work out what your approach to writing is. How do you sit down?
Dude, I haven't even like written for a long time because I was on holiday. But
Mike.
I think writing is a privilege, to be honest. Like I think not everybody has the time, the money to really sit down and just like be with your thoughts and write. So just to clear that up, writing is a privilege, I think. But I think for me, writing is so interesting because it's a way for me to talk to the people I care about most without actually needing them to be there. I think I have met a lot of talented writers, like really fantastic writers, successful writers when I was studying writing. And something that I kept telling myself so that I would, as somebody who is competitive, to not get caught up in that climb. It's like, oh, I need to be better. I need to be as good. I need. Why are they better than me? Is to actually remember who you're actually writing for, because it's like really, it's impossible to write for everybody, right? And when I write, I think about one person that I want to tell the story to. So, for example, if I came across like maybe like two and two things that I'm like putting together. I'm like, oh, this could be interesting, or a interesting piece of theory, or a story that I want to tell. I think about one person that I want to tell this to, right? And then I write to that person. And then I find that I get direction and tone and style a lot quicker, because I don't have to worry about what you think about the writing, what you think about the writing. I just have to, I know this person.
You just given the best nugget of information I've ever had in my life. That's amazing. That's really good.
Yeah, like for example, if I'm writing for like my best friend, I know the jokes he likes.
Yeah.
I know the jokes he doesn't like. I know how to make the piece of text, you know, it could be it could be scientific, it could be theory, it could be like an interesting story, it could be an encounter, but I know how to write it in a way that makes it funny for him.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm...
And there's 100% going to be at least another 50 of him.
Yeah.
And he would also...
And you don't have to care about anyone else that aren't them.
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't look at a lot of other things in life. Yeah. Right? And so, or like if I'm writing to my dad, for example, right?
Yeah.
I know how to like regurgitate it so that he understands.
Yeah.
Right. Or I speak his language.
Yeah.
So it goes back to what I was talking about earlier with like the whole like trying to pick up a new language or like trying to assimilate in a new culture, right? It's the same thing where it's like, okay, really look and listen to who you're talking to, and then try to communicate with them instead of trying to communicate to the whole culture and the whole country. Yeah.
That is actually
very powerful.
Very
good for anything, really.
Yeah.
Any sort of creative thing.
That's very
Who powerful. Are you trying to make? What like a lot of, I remember seeing, I like stand-up, so I see a lot of stand-up people do interviews and talk about this stuff, and a lot of the senior guys, the mentors, I read Kevin Hart's book, for instance, it was in there. He was saying, what are you trying to say? Who are you talking to? You know? What is the purpose of what you're doing? And that's very powerful. If you know who you're writing to and who you're talking to, that gives you the answers where you're going for, what you're trying to say to them, and why you're writing it.
Helps you move forward quicker as well.
Yeah. That's so good.
That's actually...
Why haven't I never thought of that?
I feel like no one's said it in his way, though.
Yeah, that's very like, eloquent. Yeah.
Everyone, when they talk about writing for someone, it's never... They usually mean a small group of people, right?
Yeah.
But he's saying write for one person.
Yeah.
And that naturally will just copy and paste to
it's never copy and paste. If you
similar people, you know.
I think the most powerful message in that for me is if you write for that one person and that one person enjoys it, your book's a success.
1 out of 100% success rate.
100%
exactly.
Yeah.
And it also helps that like for me, like the reason why I put it this way is because like I have a lot of loved ones that aren't in the city, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I wish I could tell you this if we had more time.
Yeah.
But I happen to have time to like write it all, and then
So do you think your legacy in all the things you're pursuing right now is in are you valuing it by how much of it can translate to your loved ones and how much of it is like resonates with them?
Yeah.
So that down the line where they go, oh mate, you know that, or your cousin or sister or niece, like one of your nieces read your books and says, uncle, that's literally what I felt like so connected to you.
Legacy is a very like
strong
haunting word.
Yeah.
Of like barely even turned 25.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and you're doing more than most people make.
No, it's not even that though. It's just like
the expectations of the word.
like like everyone's got social media now, everyone's like done this, done that. I think like, and then like with like a lot of people preach about like the success for an artist is like volume, which I really agree with. But like it's hard.
No, 100%.
It's hard to not even just like make a bunch of good shit, but like a bunch of bad shit. It's really hard to make bad shit as well.
Yeah.
You know? You need like so many things to fall in line, like time, place. So yeah, I'm just like, I guess just do your best. Like it's the most important thing. Like don't
even question the legacy part. Just do.
Yeah, don't. Take care of yourself first. I think it's the most important thing. But it would be so cool if one day like the younger ones pick it up and then be like, and then they read it.
Yeah, and they can't.
And then it would be so interesting to see like the environment they grew up in as well,
true.
and how that differs from like the things that we're going through right now.
Yeah. That's the thing I was thinking about, right? Like, not quite the writing part. So like, my dad used to have a camera, I don't know if I don't know why this did remind me of this. My dad used to have one of those film cameras. That we would take pictures, and growing up before Facebook and shit, I used to love going through the photos. I'm like, oh yeah, we went here, we went there. And it was like a picture, and then but like you go to my grandma, there's only like a few pictures, 2-3 pictures of her childhood, right? Or like not even childhood, like adulthood, really. And then when our kids and their kids see us, they're gonna have the most vivid picture of all our lows to all our highs. And they're going to feel way more connected to their grandfather or their great uncle than we've ever did to any generation before us. And that's like the way you saying that makes me think like, oh, wait, that's like what we're passing on right now. That you might write something that really passes on to someone in a generation or two after you.
Yeah, like my niece is like constantly captured on video and photo, which is great because we get to see her, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like also thinking like, wow, she will know exactly what she was like when she was like
exactly.
Yeah. That is wild.
I don't remember what I was doing when I was
exactly.
I think my memories came from like 12.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
That's a development issue.
12 was a bit late. 12 was a bit late.
A lot of repression. A lot of repressed memories.
No, that because when I go back to Asia, right, like my house in Asia, there's literally a fucking massive folder of photos of just me as a kid.
But they're all unexplained. They're like no context.
There's no context.
Yeah.
There's one of me as a baby getting washed in the bathtub and you can see my dick.
That's normal.
Dude, Asian parents love
that
naked
picture.
photos.
Yeah, bro. We have that.
And it's annoying because
they have small dicks.
Yeah.
and also like like when we take photos now, we take like those like live photos, right?
Yeah.
So like we take the moments preceding the main photo and the moments after. So there's context.
Yeah.
The photos of us in these albums, they're singular photos, and they're unexplained.
Yeah.
And like even you're just kind of like,
what the fuck?
Anyone can gaslight you into thinking you did the worst shit ever.
Yeah.
And like, oh, dude, too vulnerable, man.
There's a photo of me as a kid. My mom dressed me up as Princess Diana for a show. Yeah.
What's the most embarrassing one that I have?
Bad, isn't it? She really wanted a daughter.
You were a disappointment.
Yeah, my sister came and she was fine.
One way or another, we're all disappointments.
We're Asian at the end of the day.
You know.
I think my most embarrassing one is that I think I might have only exclusively wore as a kid Powerpuff Girl underwears.
Wow.
Yeah. And then apparently I only ate my dinner and my food if my mom drew me Buttercup.
Wow.
Like
you know what that means to me? On that note, let's end the podcast.
We still got 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
It's 8:30 to 10:30.
Oh, perfect. We carry on then. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why though. Like it was just like I just needed to see a photo of like the cartoon that I watched.
Yeah.
And which was mostly like Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
So like Mojo Jojo, Buttercup, Blossom. I had to see them while I eat.
Oh man, I love Powerpuff Girls back in the day. It's a good show.
That was a good show.
It was a good show.
Good show.
That Samurai Jack was great.
Samurai Jack was good.
Yeah.
What Cartoon Network these days is not it.
Danny Phantom.
Oh, top 5 authors. Let's go with that.
Yeah, that's good shit.
Let's go with that.
Books, top 5 books.
Oh.
I can name you some books I'm reading right now, and you can maybe.
I don't really like it when it's really hard to do that thing because like this. What are the chances we read the same thing?
That's true. But you might read it.
And then sometimes I hate the part where you have to pretend like Dan Brown.
Dan Brown. Yeah. I haven't read it.
You wanna go first?
No. We're just asking you.
Me.
I mean, look, I can name a few. The one I'm reading now is George Orwell 1984. And,
okay.
I'm reading a fantasy series, Red Rising. Have you heard of them?
No. Not a fantasy person.
That's cool. All right, cool. In that case, you're on your own, mate. Top 5.
Is there a way for us to have like book conversations where it's not like?
Well, I mean, we can.
Yeah,
we can. Okay, fine. I'll meet you there. Who do you think has been the most influential writer in the last 20 years to you and to the greater society?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. Like I think I can only just answer that for myself.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Either one, up to you.
For me, when I was a kid, I read a lot of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Okay.
I loved Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
And like The Hounds of Baskerville, The one with the it might not be Egyptian, but it's probably Egyptian. The diamonds. I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
I think I read different versions or like knockoffs of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's like mystery novels.
Yeah.
Because I think mystery is like something that I was like very hooked on. I think Charlie Bone. Have you guys heard of Charlie Bone? It's one of those like kids novels as well that was centered around. It's honestly like B-Tech Harry Potter.
Oh, really?
But at least like the author is not associated with any of that shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, as a kid, I loved those books because they were all about like kids growing up. Well, not Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, but like Charlie Bone, like, and then growing up trying to like figure shit out.
Yeah.
And then in the last maybe like 3-4 years, I found people like Amina Kane, Maggie Nelson, really fantastic writers that I like because I like the way they observe things. I love the way they like write about things that kind of like go past your eyes, but they focus on that. And they have a very good way of piecing different ideas in life together in a very accessible way, right? And then Dan Fox used to be the ex-editor of like Freeze, I believe, and he has a free blog that you can read on Substack. It's called Keep All Your Friends, and he talks about like art and culture. He used to be on Freeze, and he writes a lot there. On there. But what I like about him is that he has a bit of like a dad humor. So he makes all of these like I mean, obviously like sometimes art writing can be a bit of a chore to read if it's a bit static, but he has like that kind of like charm and wit to it where he's like, well, look at this and look at that and see, and I want to tell you why they're related. Yeah, so those are some writers that I found to be fascinating reads.
Yeah.
Are any of them like people that you take inspiration from?
Yeah, all of them.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them. I think they teach me how to like look at things. Yeah. And slow down, look at things.
Yeah. Even the way probably I never knew there was a difference between POV characters and protagonists until I read Sherlock Holmes. And then I was like, they're different. They're actually different. Like Sherlock Holmes is the protagonist, but you don't see the story through his side.
You don't always see it.
Yeah. You're actually seeing it from Watson's, right?
Because and it's also like that's why you see like why he's brilliant, right? Because you don't, if you're always with him, then you're not really solving anything.
Yeah, I think that's really powerful actually in the mystery. Like that's a very smart idea, just to be like, even if you read it from the perspective of how the hell did you come up with that? It's like a really powerful thing, right? It's like,
did you guys watch Arrival?
I love Arrival.
Yeah,
I love Denis Villeneuve.
Arrival is
Villeneuve.
great.
Yeah. Denis Villeneuve.
Because of the way they portray time, right?
Yeah.
Through language, right?
Yeah.
Have you read the original story?
I haven't read the original story. Should we give a synopsis? You looking at us?
Yeah, I have no idea what it is.
So Arrival is a movie by Denis Villeneuve in, I don't know, 2015 or something like that.
16 maybe.
Yeah, something like that, in the early 2010s. Mid 2010s, sorry. And it's a story of, I'm not going to spoil it too much. Aliens arrive to Earth. They are trying, they aren't being aggressive. They kind of stay stationary, and they keep like printing these circular things, and they're like, each one has a little differences. And then they bring in Amy Adams' character, who's a linguist, to try and decipher this language, try and decode what's going on. And I don't know if I guess we're gonna have to spoil it.
It's hard to talk about it without spoiling it.
We're gonna have to spoil it. So if you don't want to spoil it, if you want to watch the movie, I highly recommend you watch the movie and come back to this. It is one of the best films I've seen. I'm guessing you're gonna spoil it for you, mate.
That's fine.
Yeah. And what we find is that the aliens actually, the reason their language is in the way it is, it represents the time. They can go through time, and they already know what's going to happen. And by Amy Adams learning the language, she already lived and experienced all the things that's going to happen. So she has all the answers to it. The language gives you all the answers.
Yeah, understanding their language changes the way you see time.
Yeah.
And affects the way you make memories.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, the ending of that film when she talks to the Chinese general.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's such a good.
So yeah, they obviously when you portray this on film, it's amazing. But if you read the book,
It's even better.
it's a short story by this guy called Ted Chiang,
Yeah.
who is a big nerd, which I love.
Yeah.
I think he was like a professor in maths or something like that.
Okay.
But he basically like Asian guy was forced to maybe was forced to do maths. Maybe he loves maths, but uses it to write science fiction novels.
Yeah.
Which I think was so cool, right?
Yeah.
And can you imagine trying to portray that concept through words?
That'd be ridiculously difficult.
Spoiler: the whole, past, present, future is told through his use of present tense and past tense verbs. So he already hinted at the fact that the key to breaking your perception of time is through the way he uses past and present tense. It's insane.
Yeah.
Because you realize when you read back, he's actually talking about things that have already happened using past tense verbs. I don't know. It's
because the movie starts and she has a daughter, and then it cuts to her looking really sad. She's not sad. So you think, as a person seeing a story through a linear way, you're thinking, oh, she's lost her daughter. No, that daughter's not even born yet.
Yeah.
That's a daughter from the future.
Yeah.
Bro, this movie slaps. It slaps.
If you like those kind of stories, read Ted Chiang.
No, I love.
Did he make 3 Body Problem as well? Was that him or someone else?
Ooh, maybe. I'm not sure.
I have to check. I have to check it because 3 Body Problem is another one which is kind of apparently amazing in the book, but apparently the show is awful. So
I lost. I couldn't keep pay attention. But Ted Chiang writes short stories.
Yeah,
and all of it is based off some sort of mathematical theory.
Okay,
but told through a science fiction way.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and
that sounds
also
very
brings in religion as well.
Oh wow, I might have to check him out.
Yeah, really good.
I'm really trying to get into my reading now.
Ted Chiang.
Yeah.
It's something that you can that you get hooked on, and then you're next thing you know you're eating and reading and
oh man, I love them books. Yeah, I love them. I did that with you should check out Red Rising. By the way.
Red Rising, okay.
Amazing little book, amazing. There's like there's 6 of them, but the first trilogy is the main one, and it is.
You like fantasy books?
I love all. I love biopics. I love fantasy. Nice. I love. I read nonfiction. I read *Sapiens* and stuff. I didn't really agree with everything he said. I thought it was a bit depressing. His take on life. But
Yuval Noah Harari.
Yeah. Basically, he wrote a book of kind of like a abridged version of human history from the cave. And he kind of, when I read it, I don't know if you felt the same. When I read it, it felt like he was really fantasizing hunter-gatherer life.
Oh yeah, he stuck on that for a really long time.
It felt like, do you want me to be a hunter-gatherer again? And then when civilization hits, he's like, we started dying at 40.
Yeah.
You know, it just became very depressive and very kind of like just like you could say you could feel his disdain for society, right? Which maybe might be founded on fair basis. Society isn't great, but I feel like he was being a bit too pessimistic, and I didn't like it. But there was some very interesting, like was it Harambe, where he talks about one of the old kings, and there's like a snippet where he talks about a kid. There's a tablet they found, and this kid's just talking about how he's writing a letter to his parents from school, and how his teacher had to go at him for writing messy or something.
I can't remember that.
That bit was stuck with me. It just stuck with me because I was just like, wow. We're human.
Yeah,
even 1,000 years ago, we're human.
Yeah, definitely pessimistic. His next couple books were like 21 lessons from the past or something like that, or like how the human race will end.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Mate, halfway through Homo sapiens, I was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
This guy. Oh, sapiens. Sorry. This guy is negative, pessimist. But he's a good writer. He's an amazing writer.
Yeah. Very it's easy to read.
Yeah. Like I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's a horrible book. It's an amazing book. It just I didn't agree with everything he was saying in the book personally. Yeah, there's some great books out there, but I love reading like Kevin Hart's book. You should check it out.
I don't really like read biopics.
Yeah. I get that, but like I find biopics good, especially the ones where it really brings out their personality and you get to see their story. because like his one, it feels like he's just talking to me.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, that book.
Do you think they write their own biopics?
No. It's written by an actual author and him.
No, but even those biopics where they, you know.
Nah, I don't think so.
No, definitely not.
His one, he shouts out that it's
Okay.
by.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
He doesn't.
At least
just,
they credit.
Yeah, they credit him. But it's like obviously his story. So basically, I think what he's done is orated what he wants to say, and this guy's basically
worded it,
and maybe made it so it structurally works, and like it's especially people who like him who's done such great things, right, in terms of human ability, like human history, I guess, or recent history, and it's very powerful because you see moments in there where it's very intimate and stuff, and it's very kind of like you can sit there and you know when you're feeling your lows, and then you see a book of a person who's achieved so much, and they're talking about his lows. Like one of them, he was talking about like he had a very difficult life because he's a single mum, and he just wanted to watch the game, and he wasn't allowed to, so he sat on the stairs and just like listened to his uncle watching the game. And like you read that, and it kind of reminds you of moments where you felt helpless and you wanted to do something. Like it just felt relatable and powerful. That's why I like reading biopics of like people I like, because it makes you realize how we're all the same.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I like that sense of like we're all just people.
Nice.
Yeah, so we'll check it out for you. Is there anything else to really go through? I think we've hit some good marks. This has been a very this morning we had a very
wisdom.
Yeah, just like this felt like this morning felt like the fun one. This felt like the sophisticated.
What do most of your podcasts go like?
Him talking shit.
Garbage. Well, look, today I brought out a different version of me.
No, so this is considered like more like
well, look, just this is wise Archie.
Wise Archie.
Sophisticated Archie.
He's in the thinking chair.
I'm in the thinking chair today. Yeah. I'm tired. I've thought, I've used all my thinking power. He's looking at me with such disdain.
So I have to ask, where are you guys watching it tomorrow?
Oh, the football? Come on, now you took it to me, baby. Now you took it. I'm gonna be either watching it in
I'm
a
staying
pub.
away from the streets because no matter what happens, it's never gonna be good.
No, I am. If we win, I'm on them streets.
You're on the streets.
I'm on the England. England. Yeah, I was gonna be mad.
Isn't that like a Hong Kong rugby thing going on as well? No.
I don't know. I don't really.
There's a rugby.
I'm not a sports
rugby
person.
thing. Yeah.
There's a rugby game. There's a rugby game. As well.
Okay.
I love football. I this tournament I missed 3 games. I watched every game.
Wait, the Euros?
Yeah.
You were traveling?
No, I watched it. I just watched it on TV.
Okay.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I don't have that much money. Fucking hell. I barely have money at all. Yeah, we'll find out. We'll see. Yeah, so I love it, and I've been a massive England fan for years, since 2002.
So is it coming home?
Look, should I be? The problem is we would know when this episode comes out. So because this episode will come out after the fact. Yes. So,
but you have for your fans, right?
I'm gonna say it now. Snip this shit up. You could put it on. All right. Okay. This is what I think. Okay. Spain are the better team. They have been playing amazing football this whole fucking thing, but for some reason, we have been just slightly better than everyone we've played, but we've been shit. Right? I'm not gonna lie to you, we've been apps. The reason why no one's singing "It's Coming Home" is because everyone's like, every game, everyone's like, you fucking do something, do something. Like it's so infuriating watching him sometimes. But then we have so many. On paper, we are the best team in the world. Us and France on paper, right? In terms of just players. So as a result, if we're such a cagey, because Southgate is very cagey and defensive, no one really scores against us. Next year's against us is quite low. But then it gives us the opportunity for these players to create moments. And that's what's happened. Just before the game ends, Jude Bellingham scores. Just before the game ends, Saka scores. Like they have moments, and then we're like, oh my god. So hopefully tomorrow, it's either going to go 2 ways. Either we're going to get absolutely spanked, right? 3-4-0 spanked, yeah, and it'll be embarrassing. Yeah, and every time they say English or Spanish, I won't freeze. I will just cry.
Right? Yo, what is that? What?
It's because someone goes up to someone, goes English or Spanish, and they say a language. And if they say English, I'll say whoever moves first is gay. And
and they just freeze for the whole video.
Yeah, it's just a joke.
But what does it have to do with English or Spanish?
Because he goes around in this.
Because that was the original video was English or Spanish.
Yeah,
So
because
they
in the
asked
community there were Spanish and English people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like LA somewhere.
Now it's just that's just the meme.
Yeah, now everyone just say English and Spanish and you just have to freeze.
Oh my god.
They don't even say the last part anymore.
Yeah. Or,
That's what I'm saying. I was like, what's happening?
yeah. But this is, I haven't given them other situation.
Okay.
Or, they don't score.
This is
They don't
jammy.
score. This is a jammy donut. Yeah? Right? They don't score. We score either a last minute goal or we go to penalties and we just squeeze by them. Now, if that happens, I'm going to tell you something right now. Your boy will be doing the work on the M23.
I'm scared.
I will be going absolutely off.
So it's just a delusion. It's fueled by delusion
It's
right
not
now.
fueled by delusion. We're at the final. That's not delusional. You know, at the beginning of the tournament, before any ball was kicked, I would be like, England should be in the final, right? First game happened, I said England deserved to come home immediately. I'm like, we're shit.
Bags.
We're shit. And then somehow every game I've been saying we're shit, and somehow every game, the amount of I've been cussing out Southgate. I've been cussing out. And then we won the semi-final, and I was like to my girlfriend, I love Southgate.
Like him right now.
You piece of shit, shut the fuck up. So we'll find out. Well, we found out. We found out. Who's ever watched
When
this
episode's out.
So clip me and laugh at me. It's coming home. Come on, the boys. You know, the 3 lines. Bring it home. Give us something to cheer about. And guess what, guys? If we win, guess what's going to happen? We're going to get a national holiday.
That's true.
We will get a national.
Oh, will we?
Bank holiday.
It'll be one of the biggest.
it'll be a bank holiday.
Yeah, it'll be one of the biggest moments in.
Actually.
And I will go, and it'll probably be on the day the thing happens. On the weekend, the parade happens.
Yeah,
the parade happens. And let me tell you something. That parade will be one of the maddest parades ever in this country. If we win the Euros, people don't realize we're such a football fanatic country, but we've had nothing to cheer about in so long.
right.
So if we have something to cheer about, that might solve the harmony between the cultures.
Maybe.
You know, just winning a football. You know, everyone's like, oh, they see the brown boy, the black boy, and everyone coming. Oh, England, England. Southgate, you're the one. So yeah, that's the situation. I mean, I'm a huge England fan. I still remember my first game. I was sitting there with my uncle, 2002, Argentina, England. And my uncle I sit down with him and he goes, "You watch football yet?" I was like, "No, not really." I was like, at the time I was 8, right? I was a young kid. And he was like, "Okay, look, this is your team, England. You were born here, right?" "Yeah, I was." "That's your team, England. That's your fan." I was like, "Okay, cool. All right, fine." And I'm watching it, and then we beat Argentina 1-0. I thought this is how it usually is.
You always win.
Yeah, and we always, oh yeah, oh, yeah. And I was cheering. I don't know what's going on in front of me. And then we get knocked out. I remember the Brazil game. We all went in late to school. We watched the first half at home, then commute to school, and then we watched the second half in school, right? Because it was a morning game. Because it's Asia, and it was Japan and Korea at the time. And my mum bought me the old 90.
You were in Japan and Korea.
No, that was the tournament was Japan and Korea.
In Japan.
Oh, okay,
But the time zone made it so it was a 9 a.m. game or something here. And then I had like the England shirt. I remember watching it and I was so excited. And Owen scored. I was like, oh, I remember Owen scored first half. We come into school. Owen scored. We come in. Ronaldinho scored. Fuck you, bro. It was devastating, bro. It was devastating. And then like, yeah. And then since then I remember 04, Rooney, 06, like the Portugal one again. Portugal knocked us out. 10, I just cry. I remember 10, just Lampard's disallowed. 12, 14 was just 12, 14, 16 just killed me. Roy Hodgson just killed me. Absolutely ruined my life. Honestly, bro. Then 18 came. I was like, we're gonna be shit. Semi-finals. Lucky though. We're lucky. 20 came. It's coming. I'm singing. We get fucked by Italy. You know what I mean? Absolutely bummed. Bro, Cellini, bro. He just dragged Saka back, man. I was so sad. And I'm like, oh, so annoying. And I'm infuriated because I'm like, Southgate, you should win. We have the most talented team I've seen, right? As a squad. We should win this. And we don't win it. And then now I'm like, this tournament, I was like, oh, this is our tournament. And then like World Cup, I was so excited. Kane fucking plays rugby for the second penalty and hits it over the fucking bar. And I'm like, for fuck's sake. And now this one, I'm like, oh, we're shit. And somehow we're winning everything. So you know what? Tomorrow we're going to be shit. And hopefully that means we win something. So we'll find out. I remember all of them. And
I don't remember any of them.
It's interesting though, you know? But it is when you grow up with it, It is a
Okay,
different
cool.
experience. No, you're good. It doesn't. It's not bad at all. I don't even notice it. To be honest with you. But when you grow up with it, a whole different experience, man. It's a whole different. I watch of
No, but I kind of I didn't grow up with it, but when I was in like year 3, year 4, like because I grew up in Enfield, it was like majority white back then.
Yeah.
So the friends I had, they were all very into football.
Yeah.
Tottenham fans.
Yeah. That's because they're Spurs fan. That's when you're into it. It's shit.
And then like I kind of just
I
said
don't have to guess who you support.
Arsenal. Arsenal. No, Arsenal fan. Laguna.
and then yeah, like when I go to their like houses, like all the adults are just watching football and all the kids are watching football, and I'm just like there.
Yeah. Look, I don't know what makes people interested in football. I don't know what it is.
I enjoy playing it. I used to play like every week,
Yeah.
but I don't know, watching it just feels different.
I miss like PE lessons in school.
Yeah, to play football. Yeah, I used to love it.
Come home, and then you come back to the class, you're like,
Yeah.
Well, sweating at lunchtime as
sweaty
well.
as fuck,
Bro, lunchtime we used to go for it.
stinking.
The tennis boys used to get absolutely
No perception of body odor or like body hygiene.
I went to all boys school. You can imagine the odor in that.
Oh, same. Oh, boys school's not.
Rough. But that's it is what it is. But hopefully, look, fingers crossed for tomorrow. Come on, boys, bring it home. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Cheer us on, man. Give us a shout. And if you win, bro, oh my god, this is mad. But I should be watching them.
He's gonna take over the Instagram account.
Oh mate, honestly. Oh yeah, give me the Instagram. Oh, South Guy.
A vision progressed.
Vision progress. It's not even in progress anymore. We're here. The vision is here. Cool, man. Look, honestly, that was one of the most delightful.
One last question.
Oh, right, okay.
We've been asking this everywhere, basically. What is your vision in progress?
Are we gonna sign off on this with everyone? I think it's a good shout. Go on. What is your vision in progress?
My vision in progress.
Or a vision you even want to start in progress? It doesn't have to even be begun yet. That's a powerful question.
Doesn't have to be work related. It can be
anything you want. It could be making Vicky start making you some omelets in the morning. That could be a vision in progress.
Yeah, that's how I get single.
Oh right. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that I'm trying to test it with you before I ask my girlfriend.
No.
Is that the answer? Don't do it. Okay, cool.
I can take as long as I want, right?
Yeah,
because you just
got 10 minutes.
Yeah,
you just clip it.
Yeah, we got 10 minutes. What do you think that episode was? It's different. It was good.
Very different.
Yeah, this morning one was so hectic and so like immature. And
No,
funny.
today has been quite different from a lot of, because like in the morning the energy was crazy.
Yeah.
It was really fun. It flowed so easily compared to all the other. But today, like right now, it's like it was so wholesome,
insightful.
Is super like I think by far the most insightful episode for sure.
We got a lot of clips out of that, and we got a lot of information out of that. I think people would really enjoy listening to this just to like learn.
Well,
I think that the thing that I realized as well mid talking, right? Like, I think a lot of people these days autopilot.
Yeah,
like heavily autopilot. They wake up, routine, go work, go home, watch their movie, go sleep, repeat, right? But from hearing you like talk about writers, I think writers they have to be more aware.
Yeah,
they have to actively think about what's going on around them.
They're repetitive ruminators. That's not the word I'm looking for. They ruminate. But I'm trying to say, what's the word for like? They're always ruminate. They're always thinking. They're always trying to self-reflect. You know.
Yeah.
That's literally what they are.
My vision in progress. Fuck, this is so hard. I feel like if I give an answer, it would mean that there is an end goal. And I don't want to have an end goal.
He's absolutely butt-bodied you there.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're a fucking elementary kid and you've come to the university.
No, I think in a way, yeah, it does make sense, because if you have a vision in progress, right, it means that you're imagining something, and
yeah,
right, and that there's usually an end goal with something that you're doing.
Yeah, it's hard because like I feel like if I I can't really like put a pin on it because I always think like, oh,
it's because your vision's always moving, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard for me to go like, it's hard for me to muster up the confidence and say like, this is the goal. You know.
So does that mean you have a goal in there, but you're not confident enough to put it out here?
Yeah. So like, for example, right, with the book, I was like, I brought it to the event space, and they were like, we love it. I'm like, oh wow, okay. Like, I thought, you know, I was surprised by the reaction.
Yeah.
But then they also gave me a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but I came so sure of it, but I was also like rattled a little bit by like the comments in terms of like what the concept of the book can be or does. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, I didn't think about it like that. And I always want to be like that. I always want someone to come up to me and go like, but why, or can this also be? And then I'm like, oh,
yeah,
I didn't think about it like that. Yeah, I didn't think about it like that. So I guess it's like not my vision in progress, but like I don't ever want to know.
You don't want to lock yourself in.
Yeah, I don't want to like get tunnel vision, you know. And I'm kind of like, I'm not like embracing it, or like I'm not afraid of it, but like I'm very, very happy to make mistakes, is what I'm saying.
But I think that's part of the process.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah. So like, yeah, in that case, my progress looks like mistakes.
Yeah.
It's like the more mistakes I make, the more fun I have. And I can only make mistakes by, you know, I guess surrounding myself with more people, more opinions.
We can, as a writer, we can maybe spin it by saying your vision and progress is embracing the journey.
Embracing the journey, embracing the mistakes.
Yeah.
I think yeah, initially when you asked me what my vision in progress looks like, it makes it seem I interpret it as like a linear direction, right? Where it's like, okay, how do I get from where I am right now to where I want to be? But I don't know where I want to be, and the only way I know where I want to be is through like a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
I get that. But it's like for me, it's like your vision can always be changing. But in your current situation, like what is the thing that you're kind of going for, right? Because I think no matter what you do, especially when you're doing something as like a entrepreneur, can I say, right? You're working for yourself and you're doing your own thing. No one's gonna go through it without making mistakes. You know, it's part of, I think, every journey, let alone big journeys. But yeah, I think. But no, yeah, I appreciate your answer still.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I phrased it like concisely, but yeah.
No, I think it perfectly. Yeah. You said what you felt, and that's what's important.
Thanks.
You know, I think now is probably the time to do it because we have 5 minutes to do my outro.
Yeah, that's fine. Let me just give you this.
Oh my god, what's this?
The famous
tech deck.
The tech deck with the tech deck.
That's your own tech deck.
Progress.
I am so disabled on my fingers.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
It can just be a little like a little decoration on your desk.
Thanks. Oh my god, this is so cool. Thanks for this.
No worries.
Awesome.
Do I open it now or?
You can open it whenever you want.
I'll let you do your outro.
Yeah. Well, thank you for watching, guys, and hope you guys enjoyed
that one. That was your wisdom.
See you guys. Bye.